Okay, so we're going 3, 2, 1. Our guest today is Bermondsey, born and bred. He is the current IBO Intercontinental Welterweight Champion and the ambassador for the Millwall Community Trust. He is one of our own, Chris Kongo. Thanks for joining us, mate.
Yeah, all good, man. A pleasure.
Mate, very, very, very pleased to have you on the show. Not our first box. We've had Johnny Garton on a few years back.
Sick, yeah.
And we do
Okay.
these ex-player interviews, ex-manager interviews. But what we love is this sort
Mhm.
of part of it is called One of Our Own, where it's someone from the manor that can talk about Bermondsey and growing up in the area, can also talk boxing and can talk Millwall. It's probably a lot of people's three favourite things in the world.
Yeah, no, for sure, of course.
He's born in 1992, so you're 32.
Yes,
Is that right?
yes.
But you was born close to the ground.
Yeah, I was born just in Bermondsey, obviously the closest hospital local. Um, and yeah, I've grew up here and lived here all my life.
What was it like growing up, sort of in and around the area, places you went when you was a kid? A little bit of a tearaway. I've
Yeah,
read today.
I mean, for me it was normal, and I wasn't obviously I was always around Bermondsey. Um, Obviously we had he had years back. We used to have the communities come together and do five-a-side games at Mill, at the community centre. Obviously I grew up I grew up at Fisher. I came from Fisher Boxing Club,
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
which is in Bermondsey. So I've always been there and been around everyone from there. So yes, it's been great.
At what age did you realise, Millwall was a thing? Was it one of your mates that mentioned it to you, or did you just sort of always sort of been ingrained? You can't even remember when you first sort of realised it was a thing.
Let's say I can't put an age on it, but it
Yeah,
was the times of playing around Millwall and stuff. Playing around it, I realized it was a thing. And what I used to, we used to have jokes about it because obviously certain people they support Manchester United and certain people support Arsenal. And my mate always said a thing, right? He always said, "Why are you supporting Manchester United? You're not born there. You're not from there, you know." And his thing was he supports Millwall because he lives in Bermondsey. And I thought, yeah, of course. Then that's how we do it. You support your locals and you support your own. So from a long time, it's always been. I've always seen it like that. Um, going up when I boxed for Team GB, a lot of them were from Newcastle, different areas. They supported their team. Obviously, Newcastle people boxers from Manchester supported Manchester United, and I was very strong on supporting Millwall.
you said that you played some five-a-side games. Well, still, I said the old community centre is still there, and we'll get onto that later. But were you any good?
Yeah,
Could you play, or you just had a lot? I could imagine you had a lot in the engine, a lot in the tank.
yeah, of course. I was all right at it. weren't the greatest, but I would try. I would try. I think I done all right playing football in school and stuff. So yeah, I wasn't too bad myself.
Remember what was sort of, I was thinking when I said your age and when you was born 1992, and I was taking a few
Mhm.
notes earlier, I thought, guys, I always say this to people. Like, I go, you don't remember Euro '96, and they go, well, I wasn't born. Like, you don't remember the old them, but obviously you wasn't
Yeah,
born. So our current home in John Berylson Way is the only ground that you've ever known. But I can tell you, mate, the old den, as tough as you
yeah.
are, it was intimidating even for the home fans. But when I was a kid, I was like, wow. But you had
Hmm.
many trips to the den over the years as a kid.
Probably one or two, not too many. Obviously, with my older brother Elvis, who obviously got me into the sport of boxing, and he knows a few mates that a few guys that So that's
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
brought around probably around once or twice, but it was never a everyday thing. But like I said, I was always supporting.
And then you said you got into boxing through your brother Elvis. When did you first start boxing? When did you realise, you know what? I'm happy to be part of, supporting your local team football wise, but fuck, I'm quite good at this. I think I'll go down this route, boxing.
Yeah, I think it was pretty much um later down in life when I started getting to college and university. But when I started, like I said, I started at Fisher. I was very young. I used to go to the youth club mostly, so I was mostly around there, playing football, basketball, loads of different activities. So when I started going to the boxing gym, to be honest, I loved it. I loved it more than the football, more than anything there, table tennis and whatnot. And all the elder lot used to see me as the young one coming up. Obviously, the Farewell brothers, the Wadman twins, and stuff, all from
Matthew
from,
Farewell.
from Matthew Farewell. Yeah,
I know
all
Matthew
the
Farewell,
Farewell
yeah.
brothers. Yeah, so they all used to look after me when I was young and up there, and it was all respectful, loads of laughter, loads of jokes, and then I just started getting into it. And then by the time I was 11 years old, I had my first amateur fight and just kept going ever since.
Yeah, I want to ask you about this because it's like, I do like, but I've been growing up. You won't remember again because you probably wasn't born, but as a kid, I'd watch a lot of boxing with my dad, like Eubank, Watson, Steve Collins, Nigel Benn, and then a bit later on, Prince Nazim on the carpet and things like that. And people see that and they think, boxing. I mean, a lot of people would resonate, I think, in this day and age. Boxing, Eddie Earn, Saudi Arabia, millions, but it's a long old journey to get to where you get to, isn't it?
Yeah, very long, very long. Like obviously as an amateur, started at 11 all the way up until I was 23. I turned pro when I was 25, 24, sorry. So it's been a long journey, and we're still on the rise and still climbing, and we're still pushing. I'm pushing for the big fight back at the ground. Hopefully, sometime soon, maybe the next year or two. You just never know. I want to get back there. Obviously, the last person to fight there was Herbie Hyde when he won his world title.
Herbie
So
Hyde, who did he fight?
mhm, he fought guy from America. What's his name again?
Oh, what's his name? And they had the
Ben.
press conference, and
Ben, Ben.
they had a roll round of the press conference, didn't they?
Yeah,
In the
they
pub.
did. Yeah,
I remember
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that's when Herbie Hyde won his world title there. So I'll back and win a world title or win some sort of title.
That would be absolutely phenomenal, wouldn't it? To put that sell out
Yeah,
instantly. I think you need a bigger you need a bigger stadium than we've currently got. But mate, is that you never played for the first team at Millwall Football Club? It wasn't your dream to sell out the
hmm
Den. Would be
yeah.
unbelievable, mate. Wouldn't it, for a boxing event?
Of course, and I'm sure I can make it happen sometime soon.
Let's hope so, mate. I can't see why not. Obviously, I've watched a lot of clips here today, and when you
Yeah.
said like you was an amateur for a long, long time, um, I'll get onto that in a minute. But some guy said you've been a standout amateur for a long, long, long time. But
Mhm.
going pro, what's the transition there for someone who might not know too much about boxing? Did you have a job before that? Have you obviously, if you've not got a job now, you're now a pro boxer, or do you still work? I'm not. Again, people see boxing, Eddie Earn, and blah blah, and they think it's all big money, but it doesn't always work that way. You need to rely on sponsorships and things like that, can't you, for the early years?
Of course. I mean, when before I turned professional, I was part of Team GB, so I was traveling, fighting for the country all around the world. So
Brilliant.
I had been everywhere for I was on there for 2 years, and yeah, that's what I was doing. And when you're part of Team GB, you get paid, and it's lottery funded. So the
Right.
people who play the lottery, a lot of people don't know this. When you play the lottery and you don't win, when they give the money to the winner, whatever's left goes to people like us. So you're supporting whoever plays the lottery are supporting us athletes, which is a great thing. So yeah, I boxed for 2 years, and obviously getting into the pro game wasn't easy. So I had to work part time, and obviously train alongside that. So I
Yeah, and
was I always try to earn money one way or another.
but that training, obviously, I've not done it myself, as you can probably see, but it's very intense to do that alongside
Yeah,
trying to earn a few quid. Like in the meantime,
of
must
course.
be take some serious commitment.
Yeah, just remember as well. Sometimes we're training twice to 3 times a day. Sometimes it's usually as well 6 days a week. So we're always grafting.
What was your pro debut? Do you remember it well?
Yes, I remember it like it was yesterday. It was sometime in July or August, August 6th, I think. At the York Hall, loads of people come down, and yeah, it was a first round knockout, and yeah, man, it was like my first taste of becoming a professional, and I loved it. And I said, yeah, this one here, I'm going all the way with it.
That's probably the dream, isn't it? The first round knockout. Don't get much better than that on your debut.
Yeah, no, of course, of course.
So you're currently 19 fights, 7 wins. Sorry, 17 wins, 7
Mhm.
by KO. Is that
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that's correct.
It's a fantastic record. I was watching a lot of YouTube today of you,
Mhm.
so I'm not sick of the sight just yet. I couldn't wait to talk to you, Wayne, because there's loads I want to talk about. But in 2020, you
Yeah,
won the WBO welterweight title, the 9th round TKO over
yeah,
Luther.
yes. I mean, speaking about that, your first title, it was a bit strange. Obviously, I was out the ring for about 16 months, so I had a few hardships in terms of management and stuff, but
Right.
I end up finding the right management who put me on the big platform, and yeah, he was the champion coming in. He had been active, he had been fighting. And yeah, it was all against me that day, but I just knew I could trust my skills and go in there and get the win. And yeah, I managed to knock him out in the second round. But like I said, it was strange because there was no crowds at the time.
Yeah, I noticed. Yeah.
Boxing Eddie Hearn's back garden at the Matchroom office, and yeah, it was crazy, man. But it was a great experience, and that kind of experience you can't buy.
I wanted to ask you about a bit of the commentary from one of the fights I saw because it said that Chris Kongo, as you was doing your ring walk, said standout amateur, but he's
Mhm.
been played with a lack of opportunity and media pull. So
Yeah.
from what they were saying was you not really had a fair crack of the whip, and then you just explained you had a lot of difficulties with management. Is Dillian White your manager?
He was
He
currently
was.
is at the moment. Yeah,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
currently managed by Spencer Brown of Gold Star Promotions. He's doing very well, and he's big in the Riyadh season stuff. Obviously, managed Tyson Fury, manages Joseph Parker, so he's really up there. But going back to the question, obviously it was Adam Smith you was talking about, and he knows a lot, and he knows that yeah, within that time there was a lot of inactivity. People didn't want to fight. I had issues with management previously, and I just wanted to get my career back kicking, and I had to
Mm.
win that fight. It was a must-win fight for me.
I love the fact over the years, I've not become disheartened with boxing. I'm not going to lie to say I'm a huge fan. But back in the day, when people I mentioned earlier, people swinging, and sometimes when people get a bit, I've see a lot of wrestling. But when you fought that Luther Clay, he was trying to hang on, and you was
Yeah,
literally leaning in and just going fuck, like physically shoving him so
yeah,
away, so you could carry on swinging. I was absolutely cracking up earlier when I was watching it back.
yeah. No, of course. At the time, I'd hurt him, so I wanted to, go in there and finish the job. And where he was holding, obviously, I was finding it hard to, pick my punches. And obviously, based on experience, I wouldn't go about it that way now. But
Yeah.
back then, it was all about listen, just get him out of there. But I couldn't. But I just, got back to my boxing and done what I had to do.
Yeah, they threw the towel when, like I said to you off camera before we started.
Mhm.
And
Yeah,
when they like the announcer, the ref did the decision, he was
yeah.
obviously absolutely done. And you just looked like you just turned up. you have a bead of sweat on you. I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I mean, I trained for that fight. I was with the Jimmy Mack, and everybody knows him about, how he loves his fitness. He's so into his fitness. He was a previous fighter himself, so he knows. And yeah, he taught me well.
And then obviously, I think it's your next fight or a little bit later on is the one that really got the attention of Millwall fans
Yeah,
when you went against the was it, McKinson.
McKinson, yeah.
He had the
That
Kongo
was,
shirt and you had the Millwall shirt, and I remember like everyone going,
yeah,
"Fucking this kid!" Like people knew he was anyway, but now the
yeah,
football fan base is on board. They're like,
mhm,
"He's got the Millwall shirt, he's brilliant."
yeah.
That one didn't go your way, but
Mm,
you bounced back not long after, winning another title,
yeah.
July 2022.
Yes, against Sebastian Formella, the
Yeah,
experienced Sebastian Formella, which was a great fight out in Wembley. And yeah, I was reared up for it. People, obviously he had boxed the likes of former world champion Sean Porter. He had boxed Conor Ben, and I thought it was a perfect one to get there and go in there and just get the win and get the experience in too, because we all knew he was tough. And yeah, I thought that would be the perfect fight for me.
I noticed as well. Obviously, it goes on weight, doesn't it? But I've noticed you're quite a bit taller than a lot of your opponents that you fought. Like the ones I watched anyway.
Yeah, yeah. I'm always so I'm tall for the weight. That's
Right.
attributes, and I use them quite well.
I noticed as well you had the Millwall badge on the shorts at that stage,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
sound about selling out the den hopefully one day. Would you? I won't say I was disappointed when I saw you walk out and it wasn't Let Them Come, but would you have Let Them Come as your ringwalk music?
100%. That's gonna happen, no doubt, no doubt. We're
Oh,
gonna
mate.
make. I think it'll definitely be a teaser for the time where I do, walk out on a Millwall ground, which will happen sometime soon.
Mate, that'll be unbelievable. Fans would absolutely love to see it.
Definitely.
March 2024, you beat Florian Marco for the vacant IBO Intercontinental Welter title, and
Yeah,
the commentators after again said that's the best win of his career. But I noticed when you went in the ring, it sounded like there was
yeah.
a lot of booing for
There was a
you.
lot of viewing. Yeah, I mean, remember Florian Marku was a previous kickboxing world champion. He had a lot of support, and he turned into boxing because he had a lot of injuries with his legs and stuff.
Right.
And he had a lot of support, and people was writing me off. People were saying, "Oh, he's gonna beat Chris. He's too strong. He's this. He's that." But I knew in myself I had the ability, and like I said, the face off the last at the weigh-in, I said to him, "Welcome to boxing now, because now you're fighting a real fighter, and this
Yeah,
is
yeah.
not boxing. Kickboxing's a total different ball game to boxing." And yeah, man, I went in there. I trained like so hard for that fight. Made sure I wanted to get the win, and it was lovely.
Well, you say your previous wins I've seen, obviously you was happy, but this one you was really emotional at the end.
Yeah. And I would say that obviously before then I'd been out for 13 months. I was out the ring. I was played with a bit of inactivity there. So this was also another must win for me.
Yeah. And then obviously we're going to get onto like your YouTube and your visits to Saudi shortly, but your next up,
Hmm.
you're fighting again on the 10th of May in Nottingham.
Yes. Against Owen Cooper. He's a good fighter. Um, but I believe I beat him once again. I believe I'm the man with the experience this time. Uh, I'm coming off three great wins on a spin. He's coming off a loss, and yeah, it should also be for another major title. So fingers crossed we get that over the line. But Motorpoint Arena in May 10th is the place to be.
Yeah, what we'll do is, mate, we'll stick obviously the link to the tickets and that in the description below. So I'm sure a
Yeah,
lot of Millwall fans want to make that journey up
for sure.
and back you and people from the manor as well.
Yeah.
Back to the Millwall stuff. At some point along the line, you've
Hmm.
become, as we said at the top of the show, the ambassador for the
Yeah.
Millwall Community Trust. How did that come about? And what do your duties entail? Should we say?
So that come about through the director slash secretary, Sean Daly.
Yeah,
He thought it was a good idea for me to be an ambassador. I think for the past how many years I've been going to the community days, doing sessions with the kids. Also, just on certain days, every mainly Thursdays, I would go down there. I've I've also mentored a few kids from there, you know, that are from troubled backgrounds and stuff, and have been kicked out of school, and just trying to get them on the right path and showing them that, listen, whatever you put your mind to, you can do. And where I've come from, obviously Bermondsey, there's certain places out in Bermondsey which are rough, and I've seen a lot. And you know, I don't want them to get in that position, because you never know, they could go the other way. And a lot of these guys, they have talent. You know, a lot of the young guys coming up now, they got the talent. They got a lot more than us now. You know, and we want to push them in the right direction. And after about a year or two, became the ambassador, supporting all the young kids coming through, and yeah, just putting them in the right paths.
You said there that Sean Daly thought it would be a good idea. There is, in my opinion, there's no one more perfect for it. It's like it's a match made in heaven, isn't it? Because sometimes people would associate themselves with a club or an area, you know, oh, bit of a face, can you do this? But for you, you've been there, actually lived through it. You said you actually played for either side there yourself, you know?
Yeah. And like I said to Sean, there's no better person than me. You know, when I was growing up, there was no one that was guiding me along my ways and teaching me the right, or just even coming to motivate us at the five-a-side tournaments that they used to do, you know. So I thought, why not me? Why don't I get involved, you know, and do some of the stuff? So yeah, man, I really love it as well with the kids.
Yeah, it's brilliant, mate. Which, you know, we always complain about as Millwall fans that there's been so many unbelievably talented players that have come from that catchment area, but have come through the ranks of like a Chelsea or, you know, another club and gone on to be like England nationals. We always say, why didn't we get them? So, you know, the work you're doing now will be a pull for our local kids to come down, and hopefully, as football and boxing, you can get a lot more people involved and get them into professional boxing or football. It'll be brilliant.
No, for sure. I'm sure I will. We'll be pushing the kids at Millwall Community Trust. A lot of them are into football anyway, so a lot of them want to, you know, play for the team, and we'll definitely be looking out for them for sure.
And any of them that ain't that great at football, you'll be like, hey, come on, me, I'll take you to the boxing gym.
Of course, no doubt, no doubt. I'm sure sooner or later, I just need to speak to Sean about it. I would love to do some more frequent sessions at the community trust.
Yeah, mate. Once your fight's done, if you might have a bit of free time after that, but obviously the summer coming up, if they put
Yeah,
on, like, you know, days where they can come and meet you and do you know, have you around them, that'd be, give them a bit of a guidance and advice. That'd be absolutely brilliant, wouldn't it?
yeah, no, for sure it will, and I'm always up for that. Always up for teaching the next generation, because they're the ones that are coming up, and they're, you know, gonna be the next stars.
Another talent you've got, which I was very happy about when I checked it out earlier, you've got your own YouTube channel.
Yeah, of course I have. Yeah, so doing a lot with that, doing a lot of vlogs and stuff, and yeah, just trying to show people my life, how it is, how I'm always training, always all these different things, you know, and yeah, I'm just pushing it a lot this year.
They're really good. I genuinely watched two full vlogs earlier. One was in Saudi and one went to Albania.
Yeah,
But the way you got all the like, people don't think, oh, that's easy. I see, like, you get coming out of the bedroom and
hmm
brushing your teeth.
yeah,
You've got to get all the camera right, and then obviously one of your, I think it was your brother that was helping you out with, obviously,
yeah.
when you can't hold the camera. But
hmm
the editing, who does your editing? It's decent.
Yeah, thank you. It's not my editing, but yeah, I try sometimes, but it's not easy.
Yeah, no, it isn't easy. It isn't easy.
Mhm,
So talking about your YouTube channel, a big part of that I watched today
mhm.
was you went to Saudi and you had a cut. You've
Yeah.
had your most two recent fights in Saudi. Is that right?
Just one, just one.
Just
Yeah,
one. Sorry.
one.
And
Yeah,
it was it on the week leading up to the
yeah.
Fury
The type
Usyk
theory.
too?
Yeah. It was. But yeah, that was a great experience, man. Great experience. My second fight abroad. You know, Saudi, lovely country.
Yeah,
Uh,
what's it like? I see like Dubai and Saudi all the time, and I'm
yeah,
just looking and thinking it looks phenomenal, but I can't work it out. I mean, what it's like.
it is phenomenal. It is phenomenal. They're the exact words. The presentation, everything there, the customer service, it's 0-0, one of the best places I've been, and yeah, I'm hoping to go back there and fight again sometime. But yeah, it was a lovely experience getting the rounds in. I was supposed to fight an opponent who was 13-1, very strong, very strong. I forgot where it was from, but yeah, I was supposed to fight him, but then he pulled out, and we had to, reach out for a quick journeyman. But the main thing is I got the rounds in and I got the experience fighting abroad. So yeah, it was lovely.
And then obviously to be there as well. I take it you stayed about for the
The
Fury
Us-
Usyk fight.
yes, I was there. Yeah, it was a great fight, man. It was a great fight, to be honest.
I thought. I mean, I don't know a great deal, but I thought Fury's going to do him this time. But
Yeah,
to me,
I mean, Usyk is a different breed. I remember going to Ukraine 2000 2018 and actually watching him train myself, and
wow.
listen, he's a beast. And I learned a lot from that camp, and just seeing the stuff he does in training, it's just great, man. You see what being an elite athlete is, and I'm trying to replicate that now.
Is he big? Is he tall?
He's not that tall for a
He
heavyweight.
obviously next to Fury, he looks like a midget, doesn't he? But obviously, on
Yeah,
Fury's an absolute
yeah.
beast.
Fury's massive, but yeah, he's not that tall. I would say he's an average sized heavyweight, not a very big one. And but the main thing is he wins. That's it. He wins, and he's just very good at what he does.
Catch me up with all obviously the build up to both fights, and Fury's just calling him everything, like from an ice cream to a little dosser, and he's just standing going because he ain't got a clue what he's saying.
Yeah, he don't understand. He don't understand, and he's
No,
just going along with it.
probably better off if he didn't get phased by it.
Yeah, of
I
course.
watched actually a few of your face offs as well before your fights. And
Yeah,
there was one quite heated exchange, but it was heated before it even happened. You was like, and he tried to have a little swipe at you, didn't he? Like, what's that like? Does that make you more up for the fight, or can it make you lose your head sometimes? Because obviously you can't just go in swinging. You got to pick your times and stay
yeah.
focused. But yeah, what's that
I
like to have
think
a face off? Like, especially that one was proper intense. We had to get separated.
Yeah, I think that was the Marku fight, and I think
Yeah,
there was a lot of needle in that, but that that got me red to go. That got me focused, and yeah, that really got me to a point where yeah, I'm gonna prove myself in and let him know that I'm the better fighter. So it's good in that sense. It didn't kind of shake me at all, really. I just wanted to get in there after that and just show him that I'm the better fighter, and I did. Period. So that's the main thing.
that was unanimous decision with that one. And
Yeah,
both, as you know, both fighters were standing. They're both, yeah, I've won, and he weren't even bothering. He was just going.
yeah,
And to
yeah,
be fair, he tried to come over. He tried to come. He was really emotional. He tried to come over.
yeah,
I don't know what happened. He was only trying. He was going to fair play to him. He was going to, but someone from your camp was sort of standing in front of him, so you couldn't get there.
yeah. I mean, yeah, it was one of them ones. I just knew I had it. I knew I had him, and yeah, it was such a good performance, man.
Brilliant. Well, we've covered most things. I usually end with the same questions.
Mm-hmm.
I've obviously tailored it a little bit for you today. So let's go with your favourite three boxers of all
Mm-hmm.
time.
Yeah. I think for me, favorite three: Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, and for Thingy UK, one of my top fighters is Joe Calzaghe.
Joe Calzaghe, yeah, I remember. He's Welsh fellow, wasn't he?
Welsh.
He had a great record, didn't he? Yeah. His dad was Enzo, was his coach, wasn't he? I remember that.
Yeah. It's
Favorite
really
all time, if you know one, favorite all time Millwall player or manager?
Millwall player. You know what? I like to look at right now when I'm looking. I like to look at the current guys right now. Who's doing it? Obviously, um, I know Danny McNamara very well, but for me, right, let's go for them right now. I'll go for, I think his name is Ivanich. I think he's really good. I like him. You
Yeah,
know,
he's a big cult hero, big Serb, the big garlic
yeah,
and herb. I call him. Yeah,
Yeah. I think he's one of the top guys in the team right now as we speak.
And a boxing question that just popped into my head, which I don't know loads about boxing. This is always frustrating me with boxing. Why didn't Anthony Joshua ever just fight Tyson Fury? Why? I don't get it.
I'll tell you this for free right now. They might be fighting next.
Really?
They just might be fighting next. That's what I think. That's what I think personally. But yeah, they should have fought a long time. But
Yeah.
if they fight next, it's gonna be big. And I think that's the fight to make right now.
Yeah, because I watch. Obviously, I really love UFC, and the reason I do is, like, by now, if they was in UFC, they would have had a trilogy already.
Yeah,
But it
of
just
course.
seems to be quite delayed with sometimes with boxing. As you said, your own frustrations in the past.
Yeah, definitely. But I think now is the time for them to fight. And if they are gonna fight, it's gonna be this year. I think anyway. That's my call.
That'd be good. Who
Yeah.
would you back?
Who would I back? I know obviously AJ's my stable. He's my stable man.
Shit.
He's in my camp, innit? Yeah. So he's training at the Ben Davison Performance Center where I train myself with Barry Smith. So I'm gonna have to back the big man, you know?
Yeah. So you're in camp right now as well, grafting 6 days a week, 3 times a day.
Yep, literally. Twice a day for this camp. About 6 days a week we're in the gym.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Unbelievable. Obviously, once you've won on the 10th of May,
Yeah.
what's next? What's after that?
Hopefully we can get a pull at one of the world titles. Hopefully the title that I fight for leads me to that, or leads me to an interim world title. But we just want to push closer to world honors.
Who would be your dream opponent at the Den, sold out in the summer?
Right now, it will have to be Mario Barrios. He's got the WBC world title at the moment, and I would love to take that away from him.
Yeah, we'll have that off him, mate. At the Den, that'd be absolutely brilliant. You'd have to measure it win the points. It'd have to be a Millwall win. Not that it probably would go a point. It'd have to be absolute carnage in the stadium, wouldn't it?
No doubt, no doubt.
Absolutely brilliant. Well, listen, mate, all the best with your YouTube. Obviously, your fight coming up and everything you're doing. It's really been a pleasure to have you on. And thanks for everything you do for the Millwall Community Trust as well. Definitely sounds like you're guiding a few young people in the right direction.
No doubt. That's the only way it should be.
Top man, mate. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate your time.
Cheers, bro. Thank you.